Hi friends, I'm Alice and welcome to your practice. Now today's flow is all about stretching out those stiff legs, stiff hips and stiff back. This practice is particularly good in the mornings when you just wake up feeling quite tight and quite stiff and your connective tissue is all taut on your body. But it's also a great practice to just come to at any other point in the day when you need just some energy and you need some ease in your body. You don't need anything today, really, just a mat and some space, but you are welcome to use some yoga blocks if you've got them, or you can use some books. We're just going to use them at the beginning and the end of the practice. So if you don't have any, it doesn't matter. It won't be a problem. So we're going to start in a wide leg forward fold. So take your feet nice and wide, and you can actually use your blocks for this wide leg forward fold. It's just nice to have a bit of height away from the floor. Align the edges of your feet with the edges of the mat. Have your heels the furthest points away from each other, so you actually slightly have a pigeon toe through the feet. And then taking your blocks underneath the hands, you can choose what height you want and start to walk the hands forwards. So it's almost like a wide leg downward facing dog variation. Now I actually prefer the second height because I can just get some real length, and then start to send your hips back a little bit as you slide your hands forward and just find a moment to get heavy through your heart. Maybe finding a bit of movement, gentle movement, and starting to just drop into your breath. Seeing how it feels to just press into the edges of the feet. You might feel a little bit of tension and pulling up the sides of the shins and the sides of the hamstrings. That's good. Maybe even the tops of the feet. Get as heavy as you can through the chest. Taking a nice passive stretch here. Big breath in through the nose. And big sigh out through the mouth. And another one of those. Big breath in. And big sigh out. Good, one more. Staying strong, pushing into the feet, sending the sit bones back. Inhale. And exhale. Really nice, guys. Start to walk your blocks all the way back towards the mat. And you can actually leave the blocks just here. We're going to come back to them at the end of the practice. But if you feel like they're going to be in your way, you can just pop them to the side. And just hang heavy for a moment. Hands underneath the shoulders. Maybe there's a nice deep bend in your arms. Maybe there's not. Just ragdolling down. Maybe a gentle bend into one knee and the other. And then take a big breath in, come onto the fingertips, lengthen your chest and your spine, lift away from the floor, inhale. Exhale, melt it down, release. Start to walk your hands over towards the right foot and let your left hand land where it's comfortable. You can have a bend into your knees if you need to, and reach your right arm up to the ceiling, take a twist. Now see what's going on with your hips. You're probably sinking into that right hip. Can you encourage that left hip slightly towards the left side of the room? Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Good, keep wringing out the core, one more breath. Exhale. Good, let the right hand down, land next to the left hand and start to bend into your left knee. The hands can walk underneath the shoulders now and keep pushing through the feet, keeping them grounded, coming into this version of a Cossack squat. So we're going to work Skandasana as well today, but just keeping the hips parallel just for a moment. See how low you can get, keeping the soles of the feet on the floor and keeping the feet parallel. Take one more breath. Strong through that right leg, sink into the left hip. Good, bring the hands back to the floor, walk over towards the right leg and bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder, tuck under the back toes, firm up the back leg and float the right arm up to the ceiling. Nice and deep bend through the front knee, nice and strong through the back of the hamstring in the left leg. Take an inhale and an exhale. Good. Taking one more. Push the left hand into the floor a little bit more. Reach up through the right hand. Good. Take the top arm. We're just going to hook it underneath our right hamstring, underneath the right thigh. So you can really create a little hug behind the knee here. And compress your belly towards your thigh. So you're keeping that compression. From here, keep the compression, the squeeze of rib cage to thigh. Start to extend the front leg. And see how straight that front leg can get. You may get slightly heavy through the back heel. Keep that compression, keep square through the hips. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, release the right hand, keeping the belly as close to the front thigh as you can. Start to extend the front leg even more, coming into your pyramid pose. And then just starting to floss out the hips. We're going to lift high onto the left toes. Think about that left hip dropping down towards the floor and the right hip also almost slightly lifting up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, get heavy through the back heel, drop it towards the floor and open the hips slightly. So you're kind of twisting the two halves of the pelvis around each other. It's not an exact science, it's just a sensation. Breathe. Nice. Bend into the front knee and slightly shift forward into that front leg. Float the back leg off and bring the hands to the floor. You can grab your blocks here if you need. Start to straighten out the front leg just a little bit, coming into a standing split, but try to keep the hips parallel. I know it's super tempting to try and open up the hips and send the leg right up to the ceiling. So maybe pointing the toes, squeezing the left glute, and then thinking about draping your chest over that front thigh. Good. Again, you're welcome to take a hug here. Maybe right hand behind the calf. Compress your belly towards your front thigh. Holding here for one more breath. Heavy head. Good. Start to bend into the supporting leg a little bit. Push the floor away and start to float the chest off of the floor, coming into warrior three. Now this is tough. Maybe seeing if you can extend the supporting leg just a little bit more. Press through the back sole of the foot, holding here for 3. Hello hamstrings, 2, 1. Rebend into the supporting leg, hands to the floor, frame the front foot, left toes back, and then pivot over your left shoulder, come into that wide leg forward fold one more time. Release. Take an inhale, halfway lift, come onto the fingertips. Exhale, fold and release. Take the right hand over towards the left leg. Lift the left arm up to the ceiling, taking that twist through the chest. Just 2 breaths. Keep tugging your right hip towards the right side of the mat. Think about that left shoulder blade trying to spin onto your back body. Inhale. Exhale, left hand down next to right. Take a bend into your right knee, keeping the feet parallel. Then you can walk the hands out in front of you if you'd like, as you sink into that right leg. Keep driving the knee over the toes, keep pushing the left toes into the floor. Getting heavy through the pelvis. Lovely. From here, look over the left knee. Starting to walk all the way around, framing the front foot, bringing the right hand towards the floor under the shoulder, coming into runner's lunge, and then twist it out, open the chest. And just feel the energy through the arms, strength through the legs. One more breath. Hook the left hand underneath the left hamstring. Take a nice big hug, squeeze belly to thigh and keep that compression as you start to shift the weight back. Extending the front leg heavy through the back heel. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Left hand down to the other side of the front foot. Get extended through the back of the front leg a little bit more, heavy through the heel, and then just floss out the hips. So as you lift and lower that back heel, think about trying to glide the 2 halves of the pelvis past each other. You can make this as much or as little as you'd like. So it can be really big, or it might just be micro, little things. Good. Stay with your breath. Good. Coming into that standing split, shift into the front leg. Starting to float the back leg and start to extend the supporting leg as well. Good. Try not to open the hips up here. We will do that in a second. And start to hang heavy over that front leg. Maybe squeezing your right glute a little bit more, and you can always hook the left hand behind the left calf or the left heel. Heavy through the head, holding here for 3, 2, 1. Good. Push down that left foot into the floor as you lift the chest away from the floor. Keep energy through the back line of the body as you lift, lift, lift. Think cobra in the upper back, coming into warrior 3, holding here for 3. Square the hips. 1, 2. Inner thighs, switch on. 1. Rebend into the supporting leg, send the right leg back, hands to the floor. And then walk round, spin over your right shoulder, come into a wide leg forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift, spike onto the fingertips. Exhale, fold and release. Good. Let's move a little bit faster, we're going to add on. So taking the left hand over to the left side, spin up to the ceiling, open the chest. Inhale. Exhale, start to sink into the left knee, and this time you're welcome to open up the feet and open up the hips, come into Skandasana. Have a play around at trying to keep the heels on the floor, keeping the chest nice and long. Dig the front heel into the floor as you pull yourself towards the right leg, left hand to the floor, right arm up to the ceiling. Easy twist, take a breath in. Exhale, hug the right arm underneath the right hamstring as you extend through the front leg, compressing belly to thigh, maybe taking both hands to hug, heavy through the head. One more breath. Keep plucking that right thigh bone back into your pelvis. And release, hands frame the front foot, extending a little bit more through the front leg, heavy through the heel. And then a little floss forward and back, and forward, and back. Next time you come forward, shift into your standing split. Heavy through the chest and the head, squeezing that left heel towards the ceiling, and maybe taking a hug behind the right calf, maybe with both arms. Holding here. Right fingertips to floor underneath the shoulder. You're welcome to take a block if you want to. Left hand to the hip, and then push away through the floor through the right foot and open your hips and your chest into your half moon pose. And then exhale, coming into warrior 3, just square left hip next to right. And then open the hip, stack left hip on top of right. This one's a burner. And left hip next to right. Good, so you're flossing again, your hips past each other. Breathe. Last one. Stacking left hip on top of right. See if you can find a bit more energy through the right side as you float the right hand away from the floor. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Release both hands to the floor. Tuck the left foot behind the right foot. And taking a cross-legged forward fold. Whew. Hello, hamstrings. Let it go. Hang heavy. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine, come onto the fingertips or slide up the legs. Hands to the floor once again, send the left toes back and spin over your left shoulder, wide leg forward fold. Be precise with your feet. Straight away, taking the right hand towards the left side. Float the left arm up. Spin the chest open, take a breath in. Exhale, left hand down, walk over into the right leg. You can open up the toes here, come into your Skandasana squat. Sinking through the hips, maybe think about flicking the left toes up to the ceiling. Long spine, take a breath in. Dig the front heel into the floor as you pull your way forward into a runner's lunge. Right hand grounds on the floor, left arm floats up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Exhale, left hand hugs underneath the left leg, keeping that compression belly to thigh as you extend through the front leg, maybe hugging right hand as well. And in this variation, I actually quite like staying high on the back heel. because it keeps all my weight forward and I can just focus on that front hamstring. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, get heavy through the back heel, keeping that slight compression. And then a little floss forward and back and forward and back. Next time you shift forward, let's come into our standing split. Bring the hands out in front of the shoulders, squeezing that right heel up to the ceiling, squaring the hips, and maybe sitting on this side if you want to hook the hands behind the supporting leg. Good. Left hand to the floor underneath the shoulder, right hand to the hip, and push down through that left foot as you open the hips and the chest over to the right side of the room. Stamp through that right heel, take an inhale. And then just roll your right hip down. You can even take your hand to help you. Roll the right hip down level with the left hip into a version of Warrior 3. And then open and close. And that right foot, that back foot, should not be floating all over the place. It's almost like we've put it into a door lock, and we're just using the foot to open and close the door. It's in a little keyhole. Good. Next time you open, squeezing the glutes, finding a little bit more support through the side body, floating the left hand off. Doesn't matter what variation of arms you've got, hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Hands to floor under the shoulders. Tuck your right foot behind your left foot, finding a cross-legged forward fold. Hang heavy. Breathe. Come onto the fingertips or to the shins, lengthen out your spine, inhale. Exhale, release. Stepping the right leg back, spinning over your right shoulder, coming into wide leg forward fold. We're going to take one more round. Taking the left hand over to the right leg, reach the right arm up, inhale, going a little bit faster. Exhale, open up the hips as you sink into the left leg, come into Skandasana squat. Shift forward into the right leg, left hand underneath the shoulder, float the right arm up, spin onto the back toes. Right hand down to the floor, frame the front foot, extend both legs just straight into pyramid. Shift forward into the front leg, straight away into your Warrior 3. Lift away from the floor, hands to heart. Good. From here, challenge. See if you can open and close the hips, flossing the hips open and close without support of the floor. If you need it, that's okay. So we think about opening left hip, stacking left hip on top of right, and then closing. And open, and close. 3, 2, last one. 1. Left foot crosses behind right. Forward, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Lengthen out your spine. Exhale, release. Left foot to the back of the mat. Spin over the left shoulder, wide leg forward fold, straight to left side. Right hand towards the left leg. Reach the left arm up to the ceiling, open the chest. Exhale, taking a seat into your right leg. Open up your feet on the 45 and the hips on the 45 as you sink into your single leg squat. Dig that front heel into the floor as you shift forward into the left leg. Right hand to the floor, left arm spins up, runner's lunge, inhale. Straight into pyramid, left hand lands as you extend both legs. Plug the left thigh bone into your hip socket. Bend into the supporting leg, shift straight away into your Warrior 3. You can always have a micro bend in the left leg. Now you can try for a bit of support if you need, but have a go. Don't worry if you fall. Open up the right hip and the left hip, stacking right on top of left. And then close. And open. I find this side so much harder. And close. Keep drawing the belly in. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Oh. Crossing right foot behind left. Whew. Cross-legged forward fold. Breathe. Take an inhale, halfway lift. And release. Step the right foot towards the back of the mat. Turn over the right shoulder. Coming back into your wide leg forward fold. Take a moment just to hang heavy and maybe a little bend and extend of the legs. Those hamstrings are speaking to me. And then find your way onto your bum into a wide leg seat. So you're welcome just to sit down. If you want to be a little bit extra, you can actually take your hands slightly back behind you, start to widen your legs and slowly lower into a wide-legged seat. Nice. Make sure you've got enough space. Opening up the legs as much as is comfortable. If this is not good for you, you can always grab a cushion underneath the seat. You're always welcome to bend the legs as well. And this is where we can grab a block. Just take a little moment, sit nice and tall. Good, think about the toes flicking up to the ceiling. Opening up the legs from the hips. And then take the block between the hands. Last bit of effort. Create a little push of the hands into the block. As you send either, you can send it up to the ceiling. You can take the hands behind the head, keeping the shoulders and the elbows open. Or you can just keep it at the chest. Really your choice. The further away the block is from your center of gravity, the heavier it feels, the harder it is, right? So your choice. Take a big breath in. Stand, sit tall. As you exhale, keeping that long line as you fold forward. Just pulse and lift and lower. Don't have to go all the way. And lift and lower and lift. Last two. Drawing the lower ribs in. Last one. Holding here. Holding here. And maybe just a little pulse. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Block to the floor. Fold. Your choice what you want to do with the block, whether it's under the hands and you just kind of use it to creep away from you, whether you want to pop it underneath the head, under the chest, and just melts into the floor. Stay energized through the feet and through the legs, so you don't let the feet roll in, keeping that opening in the hip. Very gently starting to walk your way out. Moving your blocks, your props out of the way. Collecting the knees in, and just take a little moment just to squeeze it all in nice and tight. Whew. Find your way to a comfortable seat. See if you can keep the eyes closed just for a moment. And just sit with the sensations of your practice. The heat, the energy, that slight tension release, if you can feel it. And bring one hand on top of the other at the heart center. Sitting with gratitude for yourself, for showing up today, for carving out this time into your busy day to show up for yourself and for your body and for your practice. It's a big achievement taking that step to acknowledge what you need and finding it, seeking it out. So be proud of yourself, be proud of your incredible body. We'll take a big breath in. And a big sigh out. Bring your palms to touch, bring the thumbs to the third eye, lift the chin, take an inhale. And a big bow down towards the floor, acknowledging your practice and your efforts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you're feeling a little bit more open and energized and your legs feel a little bit less stiff. If you like this practice, then please give it a thumbs up. Let me know how you got on in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to be notified of every weekly upload. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day and rest of your week, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Lots of love.